Hello again. Hi, creative family. I'm Caroline Cole. Welcome back to the business of storytelling. This week we are looking at goal setting. What's up for 2022? Well, none of us could predict anything that happened in the past 2 years, so why should we start now? I'll tell you. You may be a fervent goal setter, or you may be someone who flies by the seat of their pants, one of those creatives. Whatever your preference, however you've done it in the past, I'm gonna get on my soapbox for just one little hot second and tell you why goal setting is so important. You might know this already, you might need a refresher, you might be like, bah humbug on goal setting, whatever. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. Goals help you get clear on what you want. They help you stay motivated. They help you narrow your focus a little bit. They give you realistic timeframes that you can work towards, and they allow you to celebrate your progress. Because if you don't know what you're working towards, then how are you gonna celebrate your little milestones along the way? And to be honest, how are you gonna get through the year without celebrating? Because I need it the most. What's the most effective way to set goals for the year? This is not the only YouTube video about this. I have a little method that works for me, and I'm gonna share it with you today. You can use this method to set anything from 5-year goals, 1-year goals, 6-month goals, whatever the time frame, this will work. I call this method funneling out. First, you're gonna start with a big goal, and you're gonna make it a SMART goal. If you haven't heard of SMART goals before, SMART goals are goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Here's an example. By the end of 2022, I will narrate 20 audiobooks. That is my goal. I already have it written down over here. I have a sticky note, and I'm gonna keep track of them. And this is my goal. I'm sharing it with you. Oh my gosh, so much accountability. So here's what makes it a SMART goal. It's specific. It contains numbers and a clear goal. It's measurable. Again, 20 is a measurable number. This past year, it's achievable also because I'm already an audiobook narrator. This past year, I did about 15 audiobooks. So it's an achievable step up. It's not going from 0 to 60 in an unrealistic amount of time. Again, I'm building on previous experience. It's realistic in that way. That's the R. And I'm working with a foundation. It's also time bound. I say by the end of 2022, I will have narrated 20 more audiobooks. So now that you have a goal, a SMART goal that meets the SMART criteria, you're gonna funnel up and out in order to find measurable steps and milestones that you can meet along the way. So imagine the big goal at the bottom of the funnel. It's the end of 2022. So for me, this is the end of 2022. We're up here. Okay, shrink it. We're up here at the beginning of 2022. By the end, I will have narrated 20 audiobooks. Great. Okay, that's the bottom of the funnel. So I'm gonna need some quarterly milestones along the way that I can hit as I'm moving down to the end goal. So let's see, if 20 is my goal, then I need 5 audiobooks per quarter, okay? So each quarter I need to narrate 5 audiobooks, and I'm gonna narrow that down a bit more. I'm gonna need to average about 2 audiobooks a month, okay? So let's break that down into the nitty gritty, okay? So if I'm gonna need to average 2 audiobooks a month, what's my audition to booking ratio? I need to look up my past auditions and how many of those that I've booked. And then I haven't done this recently, but let's just guess. I sent in 100 auditions. Honestly, it was definitely more than that this year. But let's say I booked, okay, so last year I booked 15 books, and let's say I did 100, maybe probably more than that, but 100 is way easier for the math. So let's say I did 100 auditions. So that means my booking rate is 15%, right? 15 out of 100, great. Honestly, pretty good. Not upset by that. And honestly, it's probably not that good. So anyway, so I'm not gonna assume that my booking rate is going to increase this year. It might, and that would be great, but that would be a little over optimistic, overconfident. So I'm gonna assume that my booking rate is gonna stay the same. So you wanna be realistic, remember, when you set SMART goals, not hyper optimistic. So assuming that my booking rate is between 10 to 15%, and I wanna book 20 audiobooks, that means I need to submit around 200 auditions throughout the year, at least. at least 200 auditions, okay? So that sounds like a shit ton of auditions, right? Ugh, 200 auditions, where am I gonna find those? So, but I need to break that down. Again, 200 auditions by the end of the year. So we're gonna funnel out enough, and we're gonna see, okay, break that down by month, funneling up still. I need to submit 17 auditions each month. Okay, that's starting to sound a little more realistic. Okay, an average of 5 auditions a week. Okay, that'll keep me kind of above, that'll hit me towards like 20, so I can figure that out and have a little wiggle room there. 5 auditions a week. Okay, this is now starting to sound reasonable and achievable and realistic, and way less overwhelming than 200 auditions by the end of the year. 5 auditions a week. So I may create a chart or a list or some way to keep track of the amount of auditions I've done. I need to submit at least 5 auditions a week in order to have any hope of attaining this goal. I can't just sit back and be like, oh, well, I hope 20 books come to me. Crickets, 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 crickets. No, we're gonna be proactive about this goal. We don't wait for our goals to come to us, we get them. So I'm gonna need to submit at least 5 a week. So I'm also gonna need to tally, have I submitted my 5 auditions this week? And it doesn't just happen. I mean, sometimes I do get invited to audition for stuff, and that's awesome. But if I'm gonna be proactive about this, like we were talking about, I can't just wait for auditions to show up in my inbox. I need to go out and find them, meaning that I'll need to set aside time for this. I will need to earmark time in my calendar to make sure this gets done. So, to my calendar. Now, we are at the top of the funnel. We are blocking off real time to achieve the goal. Because things that aren't on the calendar, they don't get done, y'all. Let's be serious. Things that aren't on my calendar, they don't get accomplished. So it needs to be on my calendar in order to make it happen. Okay, so I'm thinking, one audiobook audition probably takes me about 20 minutes to find, to research, to prep, record, and edit, and then submit. So, in order to do 5 a week, I will need about 2 hours. I might finish early, but that'll give me some wiggle room. Again, like if I get a call in the middle of it, or when I gotta refill my water, go pee, all that jazz. So I need 2 hours to do 5 a week. So 2 hours a week to research auditions and submit them. This is sounding pretty reasonable. Remember, 200 auditions, 20 audiobooks, 2 hours a week. I can spare 2 hours a week. So 2 hours a week to work towards my goal. Awesome. I got to put it on the calendar. So a repeating event, whatever day works best for me, I need to block off that time to make sure this gets done. So let's say it's Wednesday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Those are my hours for audiobook audition times. It's kind of like my office hours for other things, but those are my audiobook audition hours. Now, I've gone from SMART goal down here to quarterly milestones to monthly goals, and then I have a weekly time blocking amount of time that will help me hit those targets. Bada bing, bada boom. That's how stuff gets done. 1 week, 1 day at a time. Of course, I need to check in with those goals regularly. It's not just like, okay, I put aside that 2 hours and I do it every week and just like hope it happens. Of course, like that's something I've thought through and that's my strategy. 2 hours a week should work. But in a month, I want to see, okay, well, I've sent in 20 auditions. What have I booked? Nothing? Okay, well, maybe we want to see what kind of auditions we're sending in. Maybe we want to see what kind of authors we're sending the auditions into. Are their budgets matching my pricing? Who are they picking? Are they picking somebody they already know? So like I didn't really have any shot with them. Like, I need to look and see what data I can gather and how I can aggregate that against what I'm finding my results to be. So you've got to evaluate, see if you're on track. I would probably not start checking in on my methods until the end of February. I would give it 8 weeks to start working and see if the method is working itself out. So yeah, see what kind of projects I'm booking. I probably want to audition more for the kind of projects I'm booking and less for the kind of projects I'm not. So we can kind of shift and hopefully in that way become more efficient with time as we get further and further throughout the year. So that is it. That is my funneling out and up method for achieving and accomplishing your goals. And now I turn it back to you, my lovely creative humans. What goals are you hoping to accomplish in 2022? I can't wait to find out what they are, and I'm excited to see you turn those big audacious goals into quarterly goals, monthly goals, and weekly time blocking spots. Thanks for tuning in to the Business of Storytelling. I'm Caroline Cole, and you can join the party on Instagram at Caroline Cole Stories or on Twitter at @CColeStories. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next week in 2022. Woo! Bye!